When I was a kid, I had problems sleeping. Nightmares, night terrors, and sleepwalking caused dread so deep that sometimes I wouldn't sleep for days. I ended up in the hospital a few times after these episodes. The biggest problem of this was also that once I woke up, the nightmares didn't stop. They would continue as soon as I passed out again, like a sick horror movie with no end. I also didn't have nightmares that were like most kids my age. Mine were bloody and vivid, mangled and severed body parts of my family and friends, with bloody-mouthed monsters and demons tearing into them that grinned at me, begging me just to try and come and get them to stop. I never did try. And then it leapt at me. I woke up. That's the only one that has never completed itself. The more mild ones were burning cities like Chicago or New York, the same demons running rampant, invisible until they were where they wanted, then snapping back into existence, large, green, and spider-like, or red and slimy and snake-like, digging into people as they screamed. They would disappear after that. My father, as protective and scared for me as he was, sent me to multiple counselors after I admitted what I'd dreamed. I was 9 and hadn't ever watched a horror movie, not even those kid ones that were relaxed enough for kids to see, but still left their parents questioning if the movie would scar their child for life. Like, Coraline and Monster House, and it left many of the counselors stumped on the origin of my dreams. As I turned 13, though, they began to dwindle, as most nights, being the fact that I was a teenager and far more susceptible to exhaustion, I'd fall asleep and I wouldn't dream. Those were the best years of my life after that, the best sleep I'd gotten, which made me happier and strangely less cynical. But as 16 approached me, they came back full force. They forced me awake at night, stifling screams. I didn't want to wake up my dad. He'd finally stopped having to worry so much about me, and he didn't need that added stress. They crept into my thoughts during the day when I got bored and drifted away from my lectures in class. Flashes of burning city and bloody streets leading me to constantly try and keep my brain busy. I would hallucinate them too. Wrapped around a girl's leg in biology class, red and disgusting. A green standing tall beyond a boy's shoulder on the football field. It was insane. I mean, how the hell do you deal with this shit? I was going crazy. I was insane. Now, I realize I wasn't. For the past 3 nights I've had dreams, gory and blood-filled, mass killings of people in small towns. Men, women, children. Mangled with severed limbs, bloody teep-shaped gashes, and missing organs. I'd wake up, watch the news, see that a small-town cannibal has hurt another family. Usually an hour or less from my hometown. If they only knew. I do feel bad that I do. It's not that I don't, but if I tried to do something, they would call me crazy. I mean, how the hell do you go to a police station and say, "Hey, demon monsters are killing all these people. How do I know? I've seen it in my dreams, and they've manifested themselves during the day and have constantly scared the shit out of me for years." Yeah, they'd call me a nut job and probably lock me up somewhere. I wouldn't blame them, though. I've got dark circles under my eyes, am as pale as a fucking paper, and I'm usually super jittery from all the coffee and energy drinks I've drank to stay awake during the day. I never felt like I slept anymore, even if I did make it through the night. This morning was odd. I'd had the unfinished dream again, the one where the monster had killed my friends and family. Dread had begun building in my stomach. The night before I had asked a friend of mine to stay over. Something else in the room helped me to quell the dreams for some odd reason. And my friend, Reggie, was gone. Blankets thrown all over the place as if he'd jumped up quickly and booked it out of the room. There was an odd gurgling noise downstairs, and it was unsettling. I crept down the stairs attempting to be quiet, almost shouting when I stepped in something wet and warm. And red. I bolted out the door, and there was a green, slurping out an intestine from Reggie's stomach, claws curling into the wound. I stopped in my tracks. My father's body was on the ground too, arms ripped from the sockets, completely off the body, stomach clawed out, glassy eyes staring at the sky. The green grinned at me, bloody mouth and razor-like teeth, tinged pink, and it leapt at me. Time seemed to stop, and the world shattered. Literally shattered. The monster in the sky began to look like a wallpaper of the shattered screen of a smartphone, and everything went black. And then I was above Reggie's body myself, something squishy between my teeth, and the taste of iron in my mouth, and a bloody knife in my left hand. In my right, red-covered intestine. Reggie's. Oh. I was wrong earlier. Those weren't visions. I was wrong earlier. You know, I don't really feel bad. I mean, I was wrong earlier. I'm fucking insane! I was wrong earlier. There's no monsters. Just me.